Good morning, Thursday morning here in Silkeborg, Denmark, on the banks of the Gunneron River, longest river in Denmark. Folks going about their business on a Thursday morning, and we're going about our business too at the LGT World Women's Curling Championships. Some of the local art on the wall. That might be Kenny Edwards. No, it's Hans Fraunlab here with Kenny Edwards. We are at the Silkeborg Sports Center. This is the beautiful venue for the LGT World Women's Curling Championships. Hans Fraunlab, I'm joined by Kenny Edwards this morning for our feature game today. Latvia is taking on Japan. There's a look across the venue here in Silkeborg. Ideal venue if you're a curling spectator, and there are some of the Japanese supporters that have made the long journey from Japan to support their teams. Let's meet the teams. For Latvia, at lead, Evelina Baroni. Aiva Krusta is playing at second stone. Santa Blumberga is at third. And Iveta Stasta Saruna is the skip for Team Latvia. Japan, at lead, Hasumi Ishiguka. At second, the skip, Seina Nakajima. Chiaki Matsumura is at third. And Ikue Kitazawa throws fourth stones for Team Japan. Important day today, playoffs are looming. Sweden is at the top of the table at 7-1, closely followed by Russia. Korea and China both on 6 wins. Switzerland at 5-3, Canada and Japan and Scotland all at 4-4. So you can see how important this game is for Japan. USA, Germany, Denmark, Latvia, and Finland round out the table of 13 member associations. We've got 4 games going this morning in the Thursday morning draw. We will keep an eye on all of them for you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
And here's what they are. On sheet A, it is Scotland taking on Sweden. Our feature game is on sheet B, Latvia, Japan. On sheet C, it's Korea taking on the host nation, Denmark. And on sheet D, a big game, Switzerland versus Canada. Lots going on. I'll bring in Kenny Edwards, and good morning to you, Kenny.
Good morning, Hans.
Well, it's positioning day as far as the playoffs go. It's an important day for every team out there, particularly Japan.
Yeah, particularly Japan. Japan still have a great chance of making the playoffs, sitting 4-4. Really have been impressed by the way they've played and conducted themselves here at the championship so far. Latvia, they're out of it now, but they can still pick up a few more wins and all-important world ranking points.
This Latvia team has been playing everybody tough, and relative to the Japanese team, actually has much more international playing experience than this very young Japanese team. But you're right, Kenny, very talented team and a great future for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Only one of the athletes in the Japanese team has played on international level before. So a very young outfit, and been very impressed by them.
Athletes taking their practice slides before the match begins. Stasta Soruna makes her way down to the playing end, along with Nakajima. It's been an interesting tournament. Had a lot of topsy-turvy games yesterday. Some upsets. We see that Japan will have last rock, just edging out Latvia in the pre-stone, last stone draw. Japan will play yellow stones. Latvia will play red stones.
Yeah, just making it by 6 millimeters.
That's pretty close.
Pretty tight. Yeah, both these teams have had a practice and a draw the shot challenge before the game gets underway. One out turn and one in turn, or clockwise and counterclockwise draw to the button. They amalgamate the distance from that button to determine who gets last stone.
Evelina Baron, 15 years of age, gets us underway. And Kenny, that pregame last stone draw, very much a part of the game now because no full game tiebreakers at this tournament. So the draw shot is actually a secondary tiebreaker, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The draw the shot challenge accumulates throughout the round robin. They add all the distances together, and whoever is the closest will progress should there be a tie break.
Japanese lead Hasumi Ishiguka, 22 years of age. That's right, the primary tiebreaker is head-to-head records, win-loss records, but if for some reason it's inconclusive as Ishiguka rolls just out of the rings, and then the draw shot comes in as the secondary tie-breaking criteria. So those draw shots very important and very much part of the game. I remember back in the day we used to toss a coin to determine who had last rock. Those days are gone.
Yeah, I think it's a great improvement to the game. Used to get predetermined hammers as well.
Yep.
I think it's a lot fairer this way.
That's right, a test of skill as opposed to a test of luck. Stone comes into the top 4-foot circle.
Like I said, both teams getting a 9-minute practice before the game gets underway, then they play their draw the shot. So they've got a chance to understand what curls on the ice, what the weight is. So like you say, it comes down to skill rather than just luck.
Ishiguka trying to remove this Latvian stone. Makes the hit. Catches it pretty thin. I'm not sure if it's going to spin back. Yeah, yes, it will. Just clinging on to the rings. If you're brand new to our sport, the stone has to be touching at least a part of the rings as we look at the rules of play. 10 end games, but a 6-end minimum play. 38 minutes of thinking time for each team and 1 60-second timeout for each team. The stone must be touching part of the circle to be eligible to score. Eva Krusta playing at the second position for Latvia. Has to go way out to the wing to make the play on this stone. Makes the hit, may spill. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it runs out of play.
There's Eva. So just one stone in play, just off the rings. Japan will draw in that direction, hoping to set up some kind of a jam. Here is Seina Nakajima, just 21 years of age. Skips the team and throws at second stone.
Yeah, that's something that's been more. It's more common, let's say,
Yes.
people playing down the rink and calling the game, whereas before, maybe years gone by, whoever was calling the game played the last shots.
Right. But you're right, Kenny. It's much more commonplace now. Several teams here in the tournament have a fourth stone thrower who doesn't call the game. It used to be very rare. Now it's becoming more common. And I guess it's a reflection of the ongoing professionalization, if you want to call it that, of the sport. Teams looking to make sure they take advantage of everybody's skills to the best possible advantage.
Are you a little surprised not taking that yellow off? I'm a little surprised also, but maybe they're thinking that if they take it off, they could stick it on the back yellow and end up giving up two. So just playing the simple game, throwing it in.
Nakajima will try to hit it. This Japanese team from Karizawa, about a 1-hour Shinkansen ride north of Tokyo. Nakajima looking for the roll behind cover. Just rolls a little too far. Will it cling back on the rings? Oh boy, that's close. You might bite or measure that if you're Japan at the end. Or Latvia for that matter. You'd bite or measure that if it was for a force. Can't measure it yet though. There's a look at it. What do you think, Henny? In or out?
I think that's in, so I think you've got to have to make a play on it. Problem with playing the hit, though, is you need to catch this pretty thin.
Yeah. Well, she actually squeezes the Japanese stone onto the ring, so a bit of an error there from Latvia, and a great chance now for Japan to either split the house or duck around the corner again. And that front stone very splittable for Japan as well. Let's have another look. Oh, that was close to hitting the sideboard before contact, but I think it was still in play when it made contact. Pretty close.
Yeah, I think just the nose hit would have been the call, rather than go for the double. Just hold your own shooting stone in on top of it.
Chiaki Matsumura trying to set up the deuce for Team Japan. Well, the forefoot isn't being threatened, but Japan is lying too. All the stones around the edge of the rings. Kind of in the triangle formation there. Santa Bloomberga. She was played in the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship twice. Crosshouse double coming up. Nice shot. Do you believe in Santa?
I certainly do after that one.
Terrific shot.
Well, I don't think they were actually going for the double. I think we're just going to try and hit and roll across, but what a shot.
Is that any good? One more look. That's about a 10-foot crosshouse double takeout right there, folks. Pretty impressive. Japan still with a chance to set up the pair, though. They've got that front stone to use for cover. Or to split. Oh, look at that. You can see on that shot how much finish there is. Lots of curl in the ice here in Silkeborg. Ice conditions generally, Kenny, have been really good this week.
Yeah, they have been really good. A little bit of frost yesterday. I think that was just maybe to do with the amount of people that were here.
Right.
But yeah, the ice conditions have been pretty good.
Yeah, a bit of frost on the wing, but not a lot.
The playing surface has been pretty consistent.
Yeah. Speed's been consistent. Lots of curl and movement. It's Nakajima, Kitazawa look on. There's quite heavy rain in Silkeborg on the opening weekend. And that's subsided a bit as Iveta Stasta Saruna lines this one up. Latvian skip. We'll do an interval time on this for you. We'll time it from the near hog line to the far hog line. That's how most of the teams gauge speed. Japanese draw was in the 13.6 range. This one is 13.2, so we're not express pace on the draw yet. This is a heavy draw, just nudging the Japanese stone. Pushes it out from behind cover, but it is available for Japan. Whoa, my goodness. Oh dear. It's hard to turn around and the Latvian players come to Kitazawa's aid.
They really are enjoying themselves out there.
They are. Nakajima having a laugh as well. It's always the game when you're on TV that happens. Little maintenance there where Kitazawa had a little spill. Everybody has a bit of a laugh. Thankfully, she's not hurt. Yeah, Yosuke Morizumi's not quite so enamored with the fall, JD Lin, but the team are happy enough. That's good. You're right, Kenny. This team has played in wonderful spirit this week. So Kitazawa recomposes herself after the tumble. 22 years of age. This is her first international tournament. This one is really moving early, though. The sweepers have to really work to hold it. They want to save the shooter, or they buy the front stone. Yes, they are, but they are going to lose their shooter. Spills across the top and out of the rings.
Yeah, slight mistake. But composing herself after that little tumble.
Yeah. It's been an eventful 60 seconds for Kitazawa. That was pretty close to great. I mean, that rock rolls 2 rock widths less, and Latvia's in real trouble. Looks like Iveta is going to make a play at the shot stone. Execution tolerance, Kenny, is really on the high side. She sure doesn't want to come narrow and just feather that front stone on.
Yeah, you feather the high yellow, it stays in the 12 foot, you're going to give up 3, so maybe just error on the professional side. If you hit and run, would you take the split on at this stage? Probably would.
Yeah,
it's first end.
Yeah, it's I think worth a go, and we'll have an update look in here at this important game, Switzerland-Canada.
Yeah, Elena Pats, looks like a nose hit for 2. Switzerland just quietly going about their business this week. And they got on the board early against Canada. Switzerland 2, Canada 0.
Stasta Saruna did, in fact, feather that high guard, so out of nowhere, Japan now with a draw for 3. It's really an execution mistake you don't want to be making in the first end of a game.
Yeah, that's maybe where their experience playing in big championships hasn't really shone through. They should know they've been at World Championships, they've been at Europeans.
Kue Kitazawa just has to hit the paint to throw a 3 on the board in the first end.
Yeah, what a start for this young Japanese side if they could score 3.
14-3, that should be pretty much in range. And indeed, no problem there. Comes to rest as Japan opens with the best possible start in the first end, taking advantage of an opponent's error to score a big count of 3 after one end of play. It is Japan 3 and Latvia no score. Sumi Ishiguka gets us underway in the second end. Japan with a 3 in the first, and Kenny, I think, you know, maybe Kue Kitazawa might just kind of do a little tumble on the way back to the hack every end if you're going to wind up scoring 3 every time.
Yeah, I think I would be doing a tumble if I could score every time I fell over.
Center guard set for Japan.
Yeah, a little surprised at that though, Hans. You've scored 3, you've got the advantage. Why through the centre guard? Get the play into the house, get on top of the 4 foot, control that 4 foot area. Force Latvia to make a good play on it.
By setting the guard, you're giving your opponent maybe a little bit more to work with last rock. Perhaps Japan thinking this is how we go about getting our force. So it does bring it a little bit more risk. You're right, Kenny. I think the conservative play would be to throw it in. Absolutely.
So now they've got to contest with that guard, whereas before, if they'd got into the top of the 4 foot first, there's no guard to come around.
Right. Now you could just throw a guard on your stone in the rings.
Exactly.
Right. So Japan electing to do it the other way around is Ishiguka is now looking to come into the rings. Matsumura on the brushes. Looks like the pace of the ice has come up nicely. That one bites top 4, perfectly buried. Great shot. Position A.
Yeah, good setup now. Latvia kind of been forced to come around the centre. That's not where they want to play.
Evelina Barone trying to come around, but this one is really moving, and it's all over the front stone. Pushes straight back. Might just tickle the shot rock, and it does. So at least it pushes it off the center line from Latvia's perspective. But advantage Japan. Let's have a look in at Korea versus Denmark.
Yeah, Korea, Denmark, all square.
Looks to me like Kim Min-ji with a chance to draw for 2 here, Kenny.
Yeah, just needs to hit the paint. Again, another young side doing well at these World Championships. Suffered defeat to Finland yesterday, which is a bit of a surprise. But can they bounce back with a win against Denmark? This one going to pull up in time. I think it is. So a 2 on the board for Korea. A good start for them also, as they lead 2-0 after the first.
Korea, the Pacific Asia champions. Team of 19-year-olds. They're still junior eligible. Having a terrific season. Japanese stone coming just short of the ring, so a chance now for Latvia to get themselves out of a bit of trouble by hitting and rolling somewhere undercover. Eva Krusta. This is her 3rd World Women's Championship. She played in 2010 and 2013. Just noses it. So Japan will still be able to hit it. And you see Akue Kitazawa holding the brush for her skip. Second stone thrower, Seina Nakajima. Lots of yeses. Looking for the inside roll. They get a half a rock roll, but not completely undercover by any means. So good shot by Nakajima, but Latvia again with a chance to hit and roll behind cover. That stone a little bit higher in the house though, Kenny.
Yeah, a little bit higher.
If she rolls to the wing, she may not get shot. Depends how far Krista rolls with this takeout attempt.
Oh, that's a nice hit and roll in behind the guards.
Terrific shot.
someone who has a lot of experience, Morozumi.
Yep, Yasuki Morozumi coaches this team. Longtime skip of the Japanese national men's team, competed at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. That was the first Japanese men's team at Olympics for 20 years. Well, this one is going to slide by and deep and almost through. Good chance now for Latvia to go for their pair and maybe more. There is Carlos Smilga, Latvian team coach, taking some notes.
Yeah, that red's fairly well buried in there.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Locked in is Santa Bloomberga. Looks like Latvia wants to hit the Japanese stone.
Going hard on the sweep with this one. Have they held it?
Oh my goodness, this one has over curled and completely misses. Bloomberga will be disappointed with that. That was a big opportunity for Latvia. Matsumura again being asked to make a play towards the Latvian stone. Latvian stone is so well buried though, Kenny. Just playing a straight freeze?
Yeah, I think so. That's all we've really got. Just close that scoring area down. Make it difficult for Latvia to get another one in. It's going to be difficult to get anyone more in because they've blocked the draw.
Both paths to the button now defended for Latvia. Golden opportunity this time. Got all kinds of things to roll behind for Latvia. Bloomberga delivers. Missed on her first, looking to make up for it here. And that's kind of the classic overcompensation, isn't it, Kenny? Tight with the first one, you just a little full maybe with the second one.
Yeah, and she had a good 4 or 5 feet to roll to as well.
But certainly better to nose hit than to miss completely as she did on the first one. So Latvia looking good. Good look from above. Red stones belong to Latvia. So a pretty crucial hit and roll coming up here for Japan. Well, Ikui made it to the delivery end uneventfully this time, Kenny. No tumble on the way back.
Yeah. They seem to have settled themselves down. I think scoring a 3 in the first end is always going to settle you as a team.
It's a good way to start the morning. Let's see if they can keep it going. Looking for an inside roll. Are they going to get it? No, just on nose.
That's not the worst result, Hans, because then if Latvia knows, there's a double opportunity. So Latvia need to have a little bit of think. Even if they roll a good 3 or 4 feet, or roll to the left-hand side as we look at this shot, out towards the 12-foot.
Kind of anywhere but nose, really, right?
Yeah.
And you want to keep it in the rings, obviously.
Because if you nose, they make the double. The draw around for your single point is going to be very difficult.
Indeed. Elizaveta Stasta Saruna. Going through her pre-shot routine. Great chance here. If she can nail this one, Latvia could get right back on even terms.
Line looks okay at the moment. Maybe sitting a little high. Just needs an inside roll. I think she's just done enough.
Yeah, very Almost impossible for Japan to get on the inside of that rock. She shakes her head, but it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, Japan can't afford to hit the high side because then he could run the red back onto the yellow that's in the back 12.
So really Japan's at best likely conceding 2 here, or
Yeah.
at least a chance at 2.
Just hit and check onto the side of the red would be a really good shot.
That would leave Latvia a very difficult outturn draw through a narrow port to get their second point. First things first, though, have to get to the target stone. Keep an eye on this game, Switzerland-Canada.
Yeah, Canada and Chelsea Carey with a chance to draw for 2 to tie this game up.
One lonely little biter on the back ring. Good chance here for the Canadians.
Yeah, Canada really played a steady, controlled end, created the chance for this too. It's always really looked as if they were going to score in this end, never been in trouble. And that's a really good draw from Chelsea Carey. That will get them back on level terms. And it's 2-2 after 2.
Kitazawa made an outstanding little down weight, hit an inside roll. That's exactly where you thought that they should leave it, Kenny. Terrific shot. And we see Ikuya Kitazawa threw just enough weight to push the Latvian stone through the rings and get a little inside roll to cut off the draw path for the 2. Now let's have a live look at Scotland, Sweden. Scotland looks like they might be lying 2 here, Kenny. A whole pile of rocks on the side of the sheet.
Yeah, line 2. And is Anna Hasselberg trying to play an up weight or a draw to the forefoot? Well, it's a draw to the forefoot.
Characteristic around the corner release that we see from a lot of Swedish curlers. Straight handle and then the positive release.
This one looks a little heavy, Hans.
It does. Sweeper's not laying a brush to it. Hoping beyond hope that it's going to find the brakes here.
Well, does pull up back of the 8 foot, and Sweden get on the board and level that one at 1-1 after 2.
Latvia here trying to draw around the pile to get their second point, but it's going to clip the Japanese stone. So after that really nice hit and roll by Kitazawa, that generates the force. It's a single point for Latvia. Can't get around the pile to get the pair. After 2 ends of play, Japan 3 and Latvia 1. lead stone of the third end here from Latvia. We are live in Silkeborg, Denmark at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. Our feature game is Japan and Latvia. Hans Frauenlob here with Kenny Edwards. Kenny Kitazawa with a terrific little hit and roll to set up the force, and Japan now good chance to open a bit of daylight early in the game.
Yeah, they've got last on advantage and really forced Latvia in that last end. It was a very difficult shot for two.
It was.
But, I'm sure that we'll see Japan try and score multiple points once again.
Japan electing to go around the Latvian center guard. They sit it in just the front 8 foot. Good shot. Evelina Baroni, 15 years of age, but unbelievably, Kenny, this is her 10th international competition.
Yeah, it's quite phenomenal for only being 15. But these European countries do get a chance, you know, the Europeans and the World Juniors and universities. And yeah, there's a lot of international tournaments out there now for teams to play in.
Certainly are. Evelina's played in the European Championship, the World Junior B, Olympic qualifying event. Here are all the scores. Sheet A, we're deadlocked at 1 between Scotland and Sweden. Japan leading our game 3-1. Korea in front of Denmark 3-0 in the third. And Switzerland and Canada are all tied up at 2. Latvia coming up short, so 2 center guards up. Japan now will take the play away from those center guards and take this one out to the wing. See Nakajima patting her brush. That's where she wants it to stop. Wants it deep in the house to take away a possibility of a hit and roll for Latvia. And you really couldn't carry it down and place it any better than that, Kenny. It's a good spot.
Yeah, it really is a good spot. Now do Latvia go after the top yellow or the back one? They're actually going to come around to the back of the force. This is a big call.
Yep, this is brave, high risk. You're already down 2. Your opponent's got the hammer. You're ignoring 2 shots in the rings and you're having a go at drawing around those center guards yourself to try and steal. Safely by the guards. It's got a bit of steam though. It's going to slide back in the rings and all the way into the back 12 foot. So Japan still lies 2 and huge chance now where you put it. If you're Japan, the good news has arrived a little bit too early in the end.
Yeah, I think you go in on top of that yellow once again. I don't think you need to come around the center. I think you just go back left. If you go back right, you get yourself into trouble if you're trying to peel some guards at some point. So just keep everything one side.
Well, Japan perhaps, I agree with you, Kenny. I think you'd keep the play away from the center, but Japan saw Latvia just try to go there, so they're thinking, well, they might go there again. Let's try to get there first. If you're going to play this shot, it's got to be really good. Otherwise, you could take yourself out of the end. Nakajima accepts the challenge. Are they by the front stone? This one's really making a move. I'm not sure they're going to get it by. Oh, they do. Great brushing. Terrific little shot there. Seina Nakajima. Wow.
See, it's terrific. Hands.
Chance for a double here, clearly.
Yeah.
That stone Kuza. And there's the sweepers working hard.
Great sweeping action. Dragging this one down. Passes the top red. No problem at all.
It was the second one they had to really work hard to get past. That stone goes another centimeter further forward. This double may not be there because of the jam, but the delivered stone's far enough forward that maybe Krusta can have a pass at it and maybe kill them both. And this one is out there a bit though. Starting to make a move now, getting better. It's going to get a piece, but it will not remove the second Japanese stone. Does push it back 4 foot, and Japan still lies 2. This is intriguing now. We see Kitazawa saying, well, let's go around the center again. So even though Japan's got the hammer and they're lying too, those center guards are threatening and represent a possible escape route for Latvia. This one well past the guards, and it's going to slide. Well, it's coming to rest now. Thought it was going to slide just past the tee, but sits in front of it. Again, possibly leaving a double takeout for the Latvians.
Okay. They come around at the end on the left-hand side and just bump that yellow back to the back of the forefoot. Create a little nest. Hold your shooting stone top of the 4.
Santa Bloomberg asked to draw around on the out-turn side and maybe sit in the vicinity of the Japanese shot rock. High-risk strategy being played by the Latvians here. But look at the result. Just a tiny bounce, but Latvia now sitting 1 behind that center guard. You can see Nakajima waving her brush left and right. I think they thought about running the center guards, Kenny, but now they seem to be thinking about making a play at the shot rock. There's a good look at it. Maybe a third of it available.
Yeah, there's certainly enough pull to come down on the out turn on the right-hand side of the sheet to come down, maybe hack weight and roll away.
Yep.
It's a really nice shot from Bloomberger.
There's Chiaki Matsumura letting Nakajima know what she can see. Now she's going to come up and have a chat. You do get a different perspective from the playing end as opposed to being in the hack, Kenny, don't you? You really do have to be at the delivery end to let the person calling the shot know how much of the target rock you can actually see.
Yeah, a little surprised at this, taking this on.
Yeah, clearing the front here is no easy feat, and there's some real risk of disturbing your own stones in the rings and taking yourself out of a big end. Chiaki Matsumura being asked to double clear the front center guards. Not laying a brush to it. Gonna get 1, but only 1. So a big choice now for Latvia. You can reduce the risk and kill a Japanese stone, or you can go into attack mode and try to set up a steal. Attack mode it is, Kenny.
Yeah, I think they do need to get something in there. I would probably come around the in turn again, rather than the out turn.
Pretty much the same track that Bloomberg came down on her first stone, so she should be pretty familiar with the line and the weight. This one's going to come up just short. Happy to have a guard up front. And these are angled in a way that are much harder to double clear for Japan. You can kill two, but you're going to leave a center guard. Nakajima is having a look at it.
Yeah, I think you could probably hit 3/4 and you're probably going to leave a corner guard, maybe just towards the P of the private banking on the ice.
Right. Chiaki Matsumura, Japan committing to the strategy of playing these front guards. This one's tighter line and they're on this one immediately. This is looking like a nose. Just squirts it off the center line, so she does expose the shot rock. Only one way into it now, though. Matsumura. Well, I think we can say with some confidence, Kenny, that there's a pretty low risk of a blank this end.
Yeah, certainly there is a very low risk of a blank.
Lots of rocks in the rings.
Latvia just need to be a little careful, though.
Sure do.
Just a few yellow counters beginning to build up. And that red stone sitting on the buttons, rather vulnerable, let's say.
Absolutely. Make a mistake on the guard and all of a sudden Japan snaps a 4 and you are looking at a mountain. Big rock here for Iveta Stasta Saruna. It's going to be hard for her to guard everything.
Yeah, I think that's why they need to be coming in, and they need to be getting another one in there.
I think so. She can guard the rock. If she can get half around, take away the yellow run back and the path to the shot, that would be a great result. This one, though, is going to sit pretty high. Blocks the shot, but Japan, you can see that yellow stone to the right of the center line. Eminently runnable if Japan wants to, and that guard might be long enough that they can actually make a play on the shot stone as well with just heavy draw weight. So a couple of options here for the Japanese. Let's look at Scotland-Sweden. Big game here.
Yeah, really big game. Scotland look as if they're already sitting one. A draw for Sophie Jackson. Needs fully 12 foot to score 2. Scotland still in with a chance of making the playoffs. All in their own hands.
Absolutely. Scotland coming into this game at 4-4, but if they could pull off the victory against the front runner Sweden, they'd be right back in the playoff picture.
Yeah, scored a 2 on the board for them. That's a really good start for Scotland after a disappointing day yesterday.
Sophie Jackson's been battling a back niggle. She missed a couple of games earlier in the week, but looks to be back on song now. Here we go, Kitazawa.
Taking the red guard off, actually.
Interesting. Double clear, maybe go across the top of her own, get some action. She gets it. Look at this.
Wow. Takes the shot stone off the button. Wow, what a shot.
Fantastic shot. Ikue Kitazawa. Double clear the front. Big smile, absolutely. That's a 3-for-1 shot. Clear the front, across the top, run it back, kill the shooter, push it through the hole, you're lying 3. Fantastic.
The good thing about that, Hans, is she actually called it.
Yeah, that wasn't a fluke. Fantastic shot. So now Latvia in damage control mode, looking at 3, and they're pretty well spread out.
Yeah, all they've got is a freeze to this back yellow.
Well, Stasta Saruna's standing up, having another look at it. Do you think it's the freeze, Kenny, or are they playing the hit? I'm not sure.
There's a lot of ice if they're playing the hit. Well, they are playing the hit.
They are playing the hit. They're going to try to hit it thin and make a double somewhere.
This one's beginning to move, Hans.
They got a couple of ways to make the double, but they need contact first, but it goes across the top, pushes stones around, and now Japan is going to have a hit for 4. Well, if you're going to throw the hit in that situation, you really have to throw it hard enough to rattle stones, and just that lightweight over curled left stones in the rings, and oh my goodness, what an opportunity for the Japanese.
It's an open hit for 4. What a mistake.
Stasta Saruna trying to limit the damage, but now Ikuya Kitazawa, after that incredible double clear and removal, has a chance with a more straightforward shot. If she can hit and stick, that'll be a 4 on the board for the Japanese. Waiting for this one to curl, though. I don't know if it's going to curl enough. Yes, it has, right to the nose, and it's a 4 for Japan. What a turnaround in this end. Kitazawa with the double clear takeout, makes the nose hit, and all of a sudden Japan scoring in bunches this morning. 3 in the first, 4 in the second. After 3 ends of play, they lead at 7-1. Team Latvia looking a little bit stunned as we return the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. After that thunderbolt pinball shot from Ikuya Kitazawa turning the end around. Attempted double takeout for Latvia not coming off, and Japan converting with the nose hit. All of a sudden Japan out there to a 7-1 lead in our feature game. That fantastic shot by Kitazawa, Kenny. It came out like a lightning bolt, but it was a called shot.
Yeah, called the double peel to run a stone into the house and pick the shot stone off the button. Really was superb.
Evelina Baron, Latvian lead.
LG that'll be doing all the work anyway, not you.
Asumi Ishiguka. Good atmosphere in the building this morning. We are at the Silkeborg Sports Center. Terrific venue for curling, I think. It's just, you know, a cozy rink. Fans right up close to the action. Good crowd in here this morning.
Yeah, it really is a good crowd in this morning for this morning draw.
There we get some of the spectators. Fans from Scotland, Denmark, Japan, Switzerland, Canada. People have come from all over the world to support their teams. Great to see. Latvia setting a second corner guard. Japan, you can see, have got 2 stones right on the center line. And this is where the 5 rock free guard zone comes into play. Japan can't clear yet.
Just in on top again. I think that would be probably the right call, Hans.
I was going to say 6 up, you'd even think about throwing it through, to be honest. Latvia still has time to come back in this game, but Sena Nakajima and company with a commanding lead after some spectacular shot making. The Japanese win would push them to 5-4 and put them very much in the playoff picture. Didn't really want to nudge that stone behind the tee, but maybe just sitting on the tee. They're lying 3. Latvia now has to deal with the stones in the rings.
Yeah, need to move that one top of the 12 foot.
Eva Krusta saying, let's just run that front one back. Chance here to hit the top stone 3/4, get a roll behind the corner guard and maybe kill 2 Japanese stones in the process.
Well, jump to sweeping, must be inside. You see this one moving really aggressively. Very soft on their in turn, these Latvians.
Go across the face and they jam. Leave Japan lying 2. Now Japan can start clearing corner guards, and Kitazawa immediately up to remove the tighter of the 2 corners. Nakajima, very slight in stature, but boy, she can throw it hard and accurate. Even though she almost noses that one, she manages to roll her own stone over to the other side and just biting the rings behind the corner guard.
Yeah, when you're 6 up, it's okay to hit and roll to the edge of the 12 foot in behind the corner.
Especially when you've got 2 other counters in the 4 foot and the 8 foot. Nakajima, proof that you don't need to be a giant to really be able to throw hard and propel it accurately.
Yeah, great leg drive from these young athletes.
Good little roll. They push the Japanese stone out and they sit their own stone in front of the Japanese shot rock, which makes it a little bit more difficult for Japan to remove it. Chiaki Matsumura, 79% for the tournament. Not worried about saving her shooter, just wants to pick off the Latvian stone, and she does. Nice shot.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Tidies things up. I think Latvia should probably just be ignoring this yellow stone at the moment and maybe just go in behind.
I agree, Kenny. 2 ways to get behind the corner guard, hit and roll and draw. And draw is the easier way to get there. There's Santa Bloomberga. 70% for the tournament. He's made some quite spectacular shots through the week. They are, in fact, playing the draw.
Just trying to get this one to take a curl now.
These rocks do finish. They've got enough momentum. They do take a corner. That's a nice shot by Bloomberga. Nakajima is asking, how much can you see, Chiaki? There's Santa. It's kind of an either or, Kenny. You could hit the shot rock, or if you're a bit tight, clip the corner guard. Or are you totally committing to getting to the shot?
No, you tighten the ice up, and if you take the guard, fine. Play the scoreboard, you're 6 up. Giving up 2 here is no disaster. You're give up 2, get that last stone advantage back.
Big sweep by Team Japan. And they do, in fact, clip the corner guard. Very gentle weight on that shot. This stone is going to spin into the rings into third shot position. Almost second shot. So a chance for Latvia to set up their deuce. They desperately need it. Here's Bloomberger. Good shot from Bloomberger. Sits out on the button. Let's take a look back to this incredible shot by Hikui Kitazawa in the last end. Called shot, Kenny. Watch the action. Look at this. Across the top, spins it into the ring. Kills the Latvian stone, pushes it through the hole. What a fantastic shot.
Just turned the end on its head.
Absolutely.
Latvia.
Sets up.
Yeah, Latvia was looking like stealing and then sets up a chance to score 3, and they actually scored 4.
Absolutely right. Hikui Kitazawa feeling it today. Makes the hit, rolls, and actually tucks a corner behind the Latvian stone. That's a pretty good shot. Let's look in at Switzerland, Canada, an important game, Kenny.
Yes, Switzerland facing one, Alina Pat. Probably just trying to play the battering weight. Looks rather concerned. Doesn't maybe think it's going to pull enough. It's a very late finish.
Yeah. I think she can see enough to push it back if she played back 4, back 8 foot weight.
You only need to move this 2 or 3 feet to score a shot. You don't need to move it from play, and that's what people forget this. You just need to move it a couple of feet. Line a little high. It's going to pass the guard by a good half stone. It's beginning to come down the hill now. And there we see it. Just bumps it to the back 12. They hold the shooter, and it's a score of 1 for Switzerland. 3-2. They lead after 4.
As the Swiss cowbells ring out around the Silkeborg Sport Arena. Iveta Stasta Saruna, 74% for the tournament. With that Japanese roll, that made this shot a little bit tougher. Has to get around her own stone first. Krista and Baron trying to hold the line, but it is going to make contact on her own stone and roll into the button area. And unfortunately for Latvia in the process, pushing their own stone into third shot position, or 4th shot position now. So Japan, everything going their way so far this morning.
Yeah, even a hit and run in this hands would be okay. Leave nothing for Latvia to come to. There's no chance of giving up a 2 even if you hit and run.
Kitazawa. little inside out with her release that time. This one running a little bit straight, but she's got contact. This one hits and rolls away. Let's look live at Sweden and Scotland, Kenny.
Yeah, it looks like Scotland's sitting 2. And Anna Hasselberg having to come through a narrow port.
My goodness. This will test her. Olympic champion Anna Hasselborg in tough against this young Scottish team this morning.
Yeah, I think this young Scottish team are doing the right thing. They're forcing Anna Hasselborg to play the draws. And if you are going to get a mistake, that's generally where you're going to get it.
They love the line.
Yeah, this one looks good. Having the weight though, this one's going to pull up and it's going to be a steal of 1 for Scotland.
Hello. Anna Hasselborg bangs her brush down in disgust. Does have a wee little temper streak, Anna, when things are not going her way, and you can see there that she is not happy. Latvia now trying to save the end. They're facing 2. Need to hit and stick to score. And no problem there for Evidastasta Saruna, but it's only a single point for Latvia. Another force for Team Japan. They are in control after 4 ends. It is Japan 7 and Latvia 2. Playing the 5th end here at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship in our feature game between Latvia and Japan. So far, things going very much the way of Team Japan this morning. Playing close to a perfect game so far. Had Hammer in the 1st end, scored a 3. Forced Latvia to 1. Hammer in the 3rd end, scored a 4. Forced Latvia to 1. They got the hammer back in the 5th, 6 up. Can't ask for much more than that, Kenny Edwards.
Yeah, it's very pleasing to the eye scoreboard if you're Japan. And that really is the theory of the game. You score multiple points when you've got hammer, force the single when you don't.
Textbook so far for Team Japan. Still going around these center guards. I'm a little surprised by this. But when you're executing well, this one comes out just short though. Japan won't be happy with that. Don't really need a guard in this situation. or even want one. Evelina Barona. Imagine playing at a world championship at the age of 15. It's amazing.
Well,
when I was 15, I was still trying to work out my locker combination at high school.
Doing the right thing and just playing them short. So.
Yeah, Latvia has to throw all caution to the wind now and just stack them up, junk it up. Hope you can force some mistakes. These Japanese stones coming into the rings, it's going to be a little deep, so they're going to take it back to take away hit and roll possibility for Latvia. But a good chance now for the Latvians. There's lots of guards up front, so Stasta Staruna asking, let's go around them. Eva Krusta. Let's have a look at Korea, Denmark.
Yeah, Korea. Looks like they're possibly.
Are they trying a split?
Looks like they're playing a split, Hans.
Danish stone on the ring, so Kim Min-ji ignoring it.
3-1 ahead.
It's an interesting call.
I think you would just always draw the house for your single point.
You would think so.
Play the scoreboard.
They are trying to split.
They make contact, but this one's just going to be a little heavy. They roll through, and
wow.
Steal of one for Denmark. That's a big, big mistake, really.
Yeah.
Maybe showing a little bit of inexperience at this level. Going for that.
A little excess of confidence, maybe. Nakajima. Clearing time for Team Japan. And they thunder the stones off the center line. Much like Yumi Suzuki and Satsuki Fujisawa's team, Seina Nakajima can really blast them from the second stone position. Eva Krusta. As we follow along with the sweepers. The stone comes into the rings just past tee.
Yeah, still gives a chance for Japan to maybe just play the freeze. You
could play freeze. You could play maybe hack weight at the shot rock and roll a little bit in front of the second shot.
Or do you peel that center guard?
Could peel the center guard. You're 5 up with. That wouldn't be a bad call either.
I think that's what I'd peel the center guard, drive it into the reds, and try and just move things around.
Well, we certainly saw what happened when they did that earlier in the game. Kitazawa made a double clear and run back. Went really, really well, but they are going to come into the rings. Latvia won't mind this. Nakajima. It's like a heavy draw. Matsumura jumps it immediately. She thinks it's light.
Looks quite big line at the moment.
It does. We do know how they finish hard. Here it comes.
Oh, this is a superb shot.
Oh my goodness. Something tells me it's Team Japan's morning, Kenny.
Yeah, you're not going to be loving life if you're Latvia right now.
Jeepers creepers, what a great shot.
Making absolutely everything.
Yeah, welds it, perfect angle. Latvia makes a play. It's just going to sit in front of their own stone. Right on the LGT logo, getting a piece of the pin. A terrific shot. Santa Bloomberger. Latvia has to unlock these stones a little bit. Create a little bit of room in the button area. Got nothing right now, so they have to make a play. Good looking stone here from Bloomberger. Well, she did as well as she could. Moves them around, but the Japanese stone is wedged right between the Latvian rocks. Kind of a situation for Japan. It's a bit unconventional, but you can kind of guard the end out and take your one. You'd be pretty happy with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, looking at it now, I think that's maybe what I would do, just throw the guard or throw something in tight. And ask Latvia to say, yep, you come and do something.
It's a situation where you're playing the scoreboard as well as your opponent. It'd be a different story if the game was tied, but you're 5 up. And really, you just want to keep the scoreboard ticking along when you've got the hammer. Just don't want to give up a steal. Danger of coming in, of course, is if you're just fractionally heavy and you just nudge the stones around, you unlock the red stone in the back of the button, which is effectively almost guaranteeing your single point right now. Chiaki Matsumura letting her teammates know what the plan is. Sweepers are saying 2, so that's about a mid-guard weight. They jump it immediately.
Yeah, maybe about 4 to 5 feet over the hog line.
Just about halfway. Now it's all about the line. Maybe want to get it far enough across to block the path. Well, they blocked the path on the outturn side at least for a draw, but maybe there's a hole if Latvia wants to zip one through there and rattle them.
Certainly looks like there is a gap.
I think I'd try it. Latvia has to unlock that backstone, back button. It won't be a big gap, but I think it's there. And you don't have to be delicate with it, Kenny. You could really throw almost peel weight at it.
Yeah, you need to create something, because that yellow needs to spring out of the button area.
Exactly. Santa Bloomberger given the task. He's playing quiet weight, maybe hack. I think playing the quieter weight through this narrow port actually makes the shot a little bit harder. Big rotation though, it's keeping it pretty straight.
Yeah, I think that's the rotation that's keeping it straight. Sneaks past.
That's a great shot from Bloomberger, great shot. Unlocks the back stone. So that missed guard by Japan now, even though they're lying 1. Their stone's in a bit of danger. It's in a lot of danger. Latvia can move either of those 2 red stones and they could be lying 2.
Would you ever be tempted to throw the guard on the port?
Well, you tried the guard on the first time, and so you're either committed to that, but it looks like Matsumura is being asked to throw the in-turn hit the top Latvian stone, front 4 foot.
Maybe just a little bit early for throwing the guard on the port.
Yeah, you might do that on your first skip shot. Can they sneak it through? Yes, just. Oh, but they disturb their own stone in the process, and they leave Latvia lying one. Jackie Matsumura, watch how close this comes to the guard. Oh my goodness. But it actually over curls. Runs the red straight back, picks off the yellow, and now Latvia's lying one. So Japan does have some escape shots here. They've got lots of yellow stones to run in, but Latvia now with a good chance to get their steal. That would keep them in the game. Wouldn't really threaten the Japanese lead massively, but it's funny how a steal can sometimes really just change the dynamic and the momentum of a game, Kenny.
Yeah, especially it being the fifth end. These teams get a break at the fifth end, halfway point. So maybe taking a little bit of momentum into that sixth end would be good for Latvia. And it would maybe play on the minds of the young Japanese.
Well, it's a situation for Latvia. You know, if you can steal here, then you're going into six. You know, you're 4 down. You've got a chance there. Let's have a look at Korea, Denmark. Kim Min-ji, after she tried that tough split to score 2 in the last end, didn't come off, and now it looks like she's just throwing this one away, Kenny. Taking a single point by the looks of it.
Yep.
That game's got all kinds of interesting things going on. Where's ideal here, Kenny?
Well, just in behind that yellow would be ideal into the forefoot, but this one's way short.
A high guard here for Stasta Saruna. Could Japan zip one through the port and get to the shot rock directly, Kenny?
I think you've got to play that in hack weight. I think it's got to curl a ½ an inch.
There's a look at it. There is a port there. It's a narrow one.
You might just have enough to get it through.
If nothing else, if you chip the top stone in the top forefoot, at least you open up the access for run-ins on the second one a little bit. You could try the run-in now. Nakajima's going to have a look at that. Angles aren't great, though, because she's got to get past her own stone in the forefoot. A wry smile. I think I'd have a go at going right through the port and go right at the shot rock. What's the worst that happens? You clip a guard, you clip the stone front 8. Open something up. There's a long angle run in on the right-hand side as an emergency shot.
Yeah, I think you leave that one for your last. I think that's,
and there's an angle look at it from this side. Red, yellow, red. It's a high degree of difficulty shot, though, but does offer the chance of possibly opening up one side. Well, we've seen Kitazawa do this earlier in the game. It's going to be Matsumura throwing it this time. Let's take a live look at Sweden versus Scotland. Once again, tons of rocks in play, but good chance here for Sweden. Looks like a chance to maybe score 3, Kenny.
yeah, it looks like a score for 3. Sophie Jackson tried to corner freeze that yellow round the top yellow. And looks like left Sweden sitting second and third. Don't want to stick this one in the back. They haven't.
Well, We'll wait for the confirmation that Yellowstone rolled, so it's 2 we think for sure, maybe 3. We'll wait for the score to confirm. 2 it is. That angle run by Japan didn't really work for them this time. So a good chance here for Stasta Saruna to get another one, freeze the back stone, Japanese stone, and make Kitazawa look at 2. Steal of 2 would be huge for Latvia. You'd say that would get them back in the game. Just had some information come in from sheet A. That was in fact a score of 3 for Sweden, so that game over there is tied up, Sweden-Scotland.
Well, they're having to go really hard with the brooms on this one.
This one will come up short. Does cut off the path, though, into the button area. So how much risk do you take if you're Team Japan? They are now looking at this angle run.
Well, the way Japan have been playing, you've got to fully expect them to make this. And hold the shooter as well.
Yeah. Stick the shooter, score of 3. It's a tough shot, Kenny. Can bad things happen here? If she goes across the top, she could wind up giving her opponent 2.
I think it's very, very unlikely.
And there we take a look at the scoreboard. It's Scotland-Sweden. It is in fact a 3. So huge count there for Anna Hasselborg, and they go to the halfway point tied up. Buckle up. Kitazawa trying a 18-foot angle run on her last stone to maybe score 3.
Played a lot of weight at this.
Has clean gone by it, so it will be a steal of 1 for Latvia. 1 step on the road back for the Latvians. Missed there from Kitazawa. It was a high-risk shot, but Latvia close it up. But Japan still with a 7-3 lead as we reach the halfway point in our game. Japan with a chance for a terrific start here in the first end with the hammer. Open draw for 3 for Ikue Kitazawa. No mistake. 3 points on the board for the Japanese. In the third end, Kitazawa electing to play a double clear, hoping to get some action on the stone and run it into the rings. Watch this. Absolutely stunning shot by Kitazawa. Kills both center guards, runs the stone in, leaves herself lying 3. 2 shots later, she'll convert with a nose hit, and Japan with a huge 4-point end. Fourth end facing to Latvia's Iveta Stasta Saruna. With her last stone, needs to hit and stick to score. She makes it. Latvia scores a single point. Updating all the games, Scotland and Sweden are deadlocked at 4 on sheet A. Japan leading our game 7-3. Korea with a 4-2 lead over Denmark. And Switzerland with a narrow 3-2 lead over Canada.
Es domāju, ka viņas ieslēgs tagad klopīt, jā.
Viņas mums harakiri tūlīt uztaisīs.
Harakiri jau var sev tik uztaisīt.
ショット決まってるからもうちょっとシンプルに先行に付き合う必要ないから、ね、真ん中でわざわざ戦ったね。千秋の1投目で払っちゃっても全然よく、楽にやればいい。OK、じゃあ
Here's the statistical comparison. Latvia with the single steal. Look at the hit percentage. Japan 75% to 56 for Latvia. A couple of big shots by the Japanese in the first and the third ends have given them a 7-3 lead at the halfway point. Welcome back to the Silkeborg Sports Center. We are live in Silkeborg, Denmark, host city for the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. Our feature game is Japan versus Latvia. Latvia with a steal in the fifth, drawing themselves a little bit closer. Japan with the hammer here in end number 6. Hans Fraunlob here. I'm joined by Kenny Edwards today. And Kenny, great first half for this Japanese team, but that Latvian steal giving them a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, a slight glimmer of hope. This young Japanese side have just been making everything so far in this game. Everything is going their way. Slight mistake maybe with a couple of calls in that previous end. But the way the Japanese team are playing the shots, you've got to feel they can close this game out. If they could score 2, maybe 3, the game isn't going to last much longer.
Nice shot there from Japanese lead Hasumi Ishiguka. Puts it right on the button. Heard in the Japanese team huddle at the halfway break. National coach J.D. Lin telling the athletes, just keep it simple. It's good advice. 4 up with the hammer is Evelina Barona. 75% for the game today. As you say, Kenny, a deuce here for Japan would give them rock-solid control of the game.
That's some good setup play by Latvia. A double center on 2 guards.
Yeah, very nice. Guarding the guard. There's Evelina. Ishiguka, 80% for the game today. Heading towards the business end of the tournament, 13 member associations are competing. They play a full 12-game round robin. This one is going to slide deep, however. This one might even be through the rings. The 6th end curse, Kenny. It's a little bit quicker after the Ice Techs mop the ice, and that stone slides deep.
Yeah, it is bat 12, but they do control that 4-foot area.
Yes, they do. Picking up the thought on the tournament format. So after the 12-game round robin, the top 6 teams advance to the playoffs. Teams that are ranked #1 and #2 go directly to the semifinal. That's Eva Krista, 80% for the game. And then there's 2 qualification games. The #3 ranked team will play the #6 ranked team in one qualifier, and the #4 ranked team plays the #5 ranked team in the other qualifier. The winner of those games goes to the semifinal.
Really nice freeze attempt round the guard.
Comes to rest top 4. Good angle for Latvia. So now Japan will clear center guards. This is the second year we've played this playoff format at World men's and women's level, Kenny, and 88% for Nakajima. I like the format. It gives you a real reward for finishing high in the round robin. Stuffs this out and picks off her own. My goodness, that's hard to do.
Yeah, it's very hard to do.
Nakajima said, "Did I turn it in?" Don't want to let your opponent back in the game here, and watch this. Rams it straight back and drives their own shooter out of the rings. So now Latvia in a great spot. 2 center guards up, your own stone, full 4-foot, nearly completely buried. Another steal here for Latvia, and it's a different game, Kenny.
Yeah, for sure. No real opportunity to get all the guards out of play. Maybe get a couple of them going, but that guard from Latvia finds a good spot.
It is. Angled to jam if you hit it high side. If you hit it low side, you're only just going to get a single clear. So good spot for the guard as Nakajima delivers. Well, she gets the double clear. She moves it off the center line. Nice job. Tidying up after herself after the nose hit on the first clearing attempt. That makes things a little bit better for the Japanese. Santa Bloomberga, 75% for the game.
I'll make it over the hog line. Is this pulled enough? Don't think it has.
No, they left the short guard fully exposed, so Japan's got a choice now. They can try the long double clear, or they could just try to run back the shorter of the center guards and try to pick the stone off the 4-foot.
Yeah, I think that's the one you've got to move, isn't it, Hans? The shorter one?
Well, I think so. It's blocking the path now. You can hit it right there as Nakajima lines it up and kill 2 and open up the center. So they have elected now to play this shot. Chiaki Matsumura, 70% for the game, just a bit below her tournament average.
This one's very close. Very, very close.
She's got 1. Has she got 2? Yes, she does. Chiaki Matsumura, terrific shot. Race takeout, clears, rolls it off the center line. Fantastic. That's a bit of end turner. That's worth another look. Here we get a look up from above. Picks it off perfectly and has enough momentum to roll her own stone clear of the 4-foot. That's a great shot. Still the long guard for the Latvians to use, but let's look in live at this one. Oh my goodness, Switzerland, Canada, and Canada. Switzerland rather is line 4. shot stone is corner buried behind the center guard, Kenny Edwards.
Yeah, so Chelsea Carey faced with a difficult in-turn tap at just back ring weight. And we've seen the line closest to the crowd out here run pretty straight. You can see they're not taking a lot of ice with this one. If you play the weight, it does pull.
Huge shot here for Chelsea Carey.
Well, jumped on this one. They are going to have to go really hard on the sweep. This one is nearly on the guard. Have they done enough? Have they got it past? Have they sneaked it in? Oh, they have. But it's going to be a steal of how many?
At least 2. Yes, a steal of 2 for Switzerland.
Swept it from the hand. Maybe just dropped the weight because they knew it runs straight there. Dropped it too much.
Savannah Terenzoni and company on a bit of a roll now, Team Switzerland. They had an incredible comeback win last night against China. They were trailing 8-4 after 8 ends. Took 3, stole 1, stole the extra end, and now this morning giving Chelsea Carey of Canada everything she can handle and more. Watch out for this Swiss team. Evita Stastasaruna, just 53% today, but she has had to look at some really difficult shots all day long. Trying to draw around her own stone that's in the front ring. Looks a little light. Just nudges it. Might have pushed it into shot rock position in the process. See the Japanese stone at the bottom of our picture. It's kind of a tweener for Japan. You can go straight to the shot rock or you can hit the top stone. You wouldn't want to hit the inside of the top stone though. There's a good look at the Japanese shot at the back of the rings. Pretty close to who's shot right now, but there's no doubt that the Japanese are going to hit the Latvian stone in the front.
Yeah, could they hit it and roll to the 12 foot and stay?
Yeah, that would absolutely set up a deuce. This one running a little bit down the center lines, taking its time, making its move. How much contact have they got? Hit about a quarter.
That's a really nice shot.
Is it going to stick around? Yes,
yeah.
It will. My goodness. Delicate touch. We've seen the thunderbolt, and now we see the delicate touch from Nikue Kitazawa. Leaves Japan lying 2. Let's analyze her delivery, Kenny. Fairly upright delivery, just a nice soft release. And here's the result. Coming right into your living room. And Japan lies 2. So it's all or nothing time here for Latvia. They can definitely get shot by going around their own stone or promoting their own stone. So they can get themselves some kind of cover. But are they electing to play a takeout? I'm surprised by this.
Or are they electing to come around the other side of the guard? That's a lot of ice.
It is a lot of ice, and it's definitely taking the more difficult road. Stastasaruna is going to come down to have a chat about it.
Can't afford to give up any more than 2. You go 9-3 down after 6. You're looking at the game, really, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, Stas Sarunas thinking double takeout here, Kenny. It's an awkward angle.
Yeah. Look at the ice she's taking, though.
That's a lot of ice.
Yeah.
Although we have seen that she doesn't tend to play big takeout weight. She'll probably only be throwing a control type weight based on what we've seen throughout the game. We really haven't seen big hit weight from Iveta. She's got a couple of options here. She can just do a little inside roll behind that yellow corner guard. That would be a good result. So she's got a bit of execution tolerance here. She's got the roll, she's got the double takeout. Tough shot though.
A little bit of a shaky delivery there.
Yep.
Big kick out.
Tell when she wanted to step the weight up.
This one tracking back.
Just that first move propelled her a little bit off her slide path, and it just runs straight as a result. Removes the Japanese stone, but now it's an open hit for Japan to score 2. This wouldn't put the game away, but it certainly would put Japan firmly in control and back in the driver's seat. Last stone on its way for Ikue Kitazawa of Japan. Clean is the kind of thing you love to hear as a sweeper. That means it's pretty close to target. And it's right on target. Nose hit for the deuce. Ikue Kitazawa. Team Japan rolling along in this morning game. 2-point end. Extending their lead over Latvia after 6 ends of play. And in fact, Latvia has conceded defeat, so it's victory for Japan. Latvia calling it a day, deciding that the gap was too big to close, and Japan are 9-3 winners over Latvia. Big win for Japan. That puts them up to 5-4 and puts them squarely in the playoff picture, Kenny.
Yeah, for sure. They are right in the hunt. Don't want to really drop any more games, Team Japan, but the way they're playing, the way they're calling the game, they don't look like they're going to drop many.
No, that's a solid performance by this young Japanese team. 3 of them, this is their very first international competition. Stas Saruna, too much for them today. That was just ran into a juggernaut from Team Japan. So Seina Nakajima and her Japanese foursome right in the playoff hunt. With our game finished, let's pick up some action in this game between Sweden and Scotland over on sheet A. Close battle. Scotland just in front, but Sweden with hammer now in end number 7, 1 down. Sophie Jackson, skip for Team Scotland, holding the brush.
Line's good. We're out there just now. Just 6.
Sophie Sinclair delivering the stone.
No, 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 no. Close. Yep. Hard, 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 hard.
A good looking come around here from Sinclair. Sits right on the button. Talked about how big that win was for the Japanese. Well, a win here for Scotland would be equally big as Sofia Mabergs delivers for Team Sweden. Scotland are also sitting on 4-4. They've seen Japan has won this morning, so I'm sure they won't be doing any scoreboard watching, but they'll need to win to keep pace with the Japanese. Oh, very nice shot by Mabergs. This end very much like a mixed doubles end. Center guard, bunch of stones in and around and just behind the button. Naomi Smith lines it up, 21-year-old. This is Sophie Jackson for some defeated Eve Muirhead in the Scottish Championship. Earning the right to represent Scotland here. Don't want to bounce, might just bounce. Tiny little nudge. Nice shot from Millie Smith. Oh, what a fascinating end we've got brewing here. Agnes Knochenauer lines it up. Second player for Team Sweden. Are they by? Oh, so close to that center guard. They really left that late, but great result. Look at this. It's a party in the 4-foot circle. On, off, and they actually stopped, came back and just getting around. Wow, close. Sophie Jackson now deciding we need to kill the front and do something. We're going to have to unlock the stones around the button area here if we're going to get more than one. Millie Smith looking for a little action on the stones in the rings, but didn't get it. And we see 13:18 on the time clock for Scotland and counting. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time to complete their shots. Agnes Knochenauer delivers. Sweden with the hammer here, so Scotland will need to be careful. There's a lot of yellow stones accumulating in the rings. Let's have a look in at Denmark and Korea. Red stones belong to the Koreans, but Madeline Dupont trying an angle raise. It's close. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Double angle raise, Madeline Dupont to score 2. How good is that? Hometown fans pretty happy about that as they're Skip delivers an incredible double angle raise. Wow, what a terrific shot.
Jag tror jag försöker vicka långt. 11.
Hasselborg holding the target for her third. Sarah McManus. Sweden just maneuvering their stones around the back rings now. They're all really spread out. Kind of a V formation there. They've got the hammer. Sophie Jackson trying to do a little damage limitation here as Naomi Brown lines it up. 22 years of age. Started curling at the age of 7. Her dad Norman is here this week supporting. Curler of some renown himself. Just a single take out there for Naomi. Let's look in live at Switzerland, Canada. Swiss stole 2 in the last end, and once again Chelsea Carey looking at a bunch. She has to draw against 3 just to score a single point. Savannah Terranzoni, Elena Pats, they're on some kind of a roll now. Worst case scenario for Switzerland, they're 2 up playing 8 with the last rock. Chelsea Carey has to draw the full 8 foot
Line's good.
against
I think we're
3.
T-line right now. Running still. Okay. It's a little hot right now. Here. Yeah, we're a little hot. No, come go. Okay, you gotta put it on the tee. Okay. Gotta be T-line on this line.
Really wide line for Carey. She's nowhere near the guards. That's no problem. Now they need to get it for maximum curl because they need a bit more than full 8. Have they got it there? Gee whiz, it is close.
That's, yeah, me too.
I think it might be red. They're going to take a look at it.
I think it's yellow.
Canadians think it's them. The Swiss are saying not so much. We'll call for a measure, please. So we'll update you after the measure.
That's what I threw the same weight on that as I did on this.
Sweden's taking a timeout. Coach Wayne Madaw on the ice surface.
You don't like this?
Yeah, I
we
think so.
are.
And then she will be second shot on this.
Yeah,
so.
you're gonna leave her a double back.
I think this definitely.
Yeah, so that's like
Thin.
what, a third of a rock?
I think we need some speed to get the red one out.
Yeah, it's been.
I think it should be enough with 11, Anna.
10. I
10,
think so.
okay.
And take this as far back here as we can.
Vilken hand, Anna?
In.
Den. 10.
Ja.
Hur kommer det gå där?
Rakt. Yes.
So after some input from Coach Madaw, there he gives us a smile as he makes his way back to the bench.
10 då.
Wayne Madaw, of course, a multiple world champion himself as an athlete. Sarah McManus being asked to hit her own stone, catch a third of it, spring the red out, roll across.
Yep.
On it immediately. This one's over curling. Removes her own. Does not disturb the Scottish stone. That's a mistake from McManus. Swedish stone still sitting in front there. The Canadians.
Yeah, good. Okay, yeah. Okay. Good team. Yeah.
Bit of a sigh of relief after the measure. They did in fact score the single point.
That was like good through like back. Yeah.
It was close though. Now it's Scotland that's going to have a little conference.
I don't like.
And they've called timeout, so Tom Brewster makes his way down to the ice surface. Tom takes a look at the angles.
Guard. But the yellow probably.
Yeah, in this line.
That's the problem here, isn't it?
I know.
Could we go round it? Back four.
We're going here.
That red's always hitting that other yellow, eh? So the angle's good.
Okay.
The only problem is they've got that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they lift the double on that, so that's maybe not great.
Yeah, if you're ever back 8, then it's not good.
Brewster looking at the thin double takeout.
Really precise. I mean, back 4 is good, but it's really precise. Like, you can't.
Really precise. The other thing is it's a cut that yellow. Although that yellow's going into here. Yeah, maybe the guards are still.
What, just guard the yellow?
Yeah.
Like here?
I don't think they're going to come through that gap.
Nah.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, I wouldn't be any longer.
Anywhere on this line, like 3. Okay. I think it's probably the best shot. Yeah. So
After a bit of discussion, they seem to have settled on a guard, Kenny.
Yeah, they settled on a guard, and I think they've probably settled for that because if they draw the 4 foot on the right-hand side as we look at this shot, back 4, Anna Hasselberg could come down at hit weight, hit the nose of the yellow onto the red, and spring the yellow across to it. That really is her shot.
So Scotland, after discussion, deciding that the yellow short run is the most dangerous thing facing them, so they're trying to guard it and block it off. A big consideration for the Scots is that they are lying in 3rd shot position. Those 2 Swedish stones in the back 8-foot are potential counters, but as long as that Scottish stone right underneath the brush stays there, Scotland is counting those stones out. Hasselborg and McManus. Sophie Jackson, 22 years of age. Sophie thought she was a little bit heavy as she released it.
Yeah, this one's got a little bit of running on it. Don't want to be too tight.
Coming to rest now, just short of the rings and on a very good line. That's a nice shot. Let's have a look at Korea-Denmark after that incredible double raise in the last end. Kim Min-ji with a toughish looking shot here, Kenny.
Yeah, tough shot around the high side. But if she could make it, she might be able to pick up 3. This one just needs to curl a couple of inches. This one looks good. That one looks like a 3 on the board.
Nice shot.
Just having a look at it now. And confirmed as a 3.
Wow, that's huge. Kim Min-ji bouncing back after that terrific double raise takeout by Madeline Dupont. Korea bounces right back and throws a 3 on the board in reply.
Yeah, looking to pick up their 7th win at the World Championship.
Wow, well, a 7th win may actually guarantee a playoff place for them. It's starting to settle out now as we get near to the end of the tournament. Anna Hasselborg now throwing some weight, trying to pick this stone off. Look at this. Great shot. Now things get pretty nervy for Scotland. 3 Swedish stones in the rings, 1 lonely Scottish rock in the back of the 8-foot, counting it out. Any kind of mistake here in Sweden could get a bundle.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really like throwing the guard. Probably would have went back of the 4 foot on the left-hand side with the first. If it had been the last shot, yeah, fine, because you're forcing Sweden to score 1 playing the pick. But
all kinds of danger for Scotland here. If you throw it a little bit deep, you leave Hasselborg a crosshouse double for 4. If you throw it a little bit short, maybe you're giving away a hit for 2 or 3. So Sophie Jackson execution tolerance here is really small.
Same weight as a barrel.
Perfect is probably just past button, half around the guards in the center. Tough, tough shot. Scotland must get a stone into second shot position here, Kenny.
Yeah, need to be in for second.
It's heavy.
This looks good though.
Will it come to rest? Yes, it does. But has she left this double takeout for Anna Hasselborg?
Well, Sweden's sitting one.
They are sitting one, so they may be content to score the two, but will they take the risk of going for more?
She knows that is what Anna Hasselborg is known for.
Anna looks for these shots. Bit of a risk of a sideways jam for Sweden. If you catch it thin, as Knockenhauer and Mabrug's come down to have a look. They'll make this decision as a team. Great look at the overhead. Red into red. Challenge might be it could push the red straight sideways and you can actually jam sideways. As strange as that thinks.
Yeah, if this over curls, you might catch the back of the second red and end up only taking one.
Yep.
So you've just got to be a little bit careful. If anything, catch this one on the thick side, so you hit and check across and make sure it's scoring two.
So this is the classic risk versus reward decision for Team Sweden. Taking a little bit of a risk and hoping they reap a big reward. Going for the double takeout to score maybe three, maybe four. Here it comes.
The Borg. Throwing the big weight.
Swedish Express is on the rails. There's one, rolls it across. Looks like a score of two. So Scotland may be dodging a bullet. We'll wait for the confirmation of the score. A smile from Hasselborg. Let's have another look at the replay. Wanted to catch this one a little bit thinner, but gets enough of an inside roll to score a second point.
Yeah, errored on the professional side.
Yes, she did. So after 7 ends of play, Sweden back in front by a 6-5 score. Welcome back to Silkeborg, Denmark. We are live at the LGT World Women's Curling Championships. And a bonus coverage here for you this morning. Thursday morning draw. We've picked up the game now, Scotland versus Sweden. And Anna Hasselborg with a pair in the 7th. Scotland with the hammer in those crucial even ends, Kenny, so it's a very important 8th end for this young team from Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland with the opportunity to score in 8 and 10. And Sweden really only the opportunity to score a 9, depending on how Scotland approach this eighth end.
Sophie Sinclair.
Line's good, a wee bit high if anything. Hard! Hard, hard, hard! Hard, Malik! Go, 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 go!
Yeah,
Hard,
Scotland
right
really
to the
bouncing
end,
back
right
after 2 heavy defeats yesterday.
Well, they're playing very well this morning against the Olympic champions. Here's the comparison of the lead position, Sofia Marburgs. Look at that, 95%
Bra
for
linje,
the game.
ta det lugnt om ni kan.
Sophie Sinclair having a good game, but Marburgs spectacular.
Rent Agnes!
Haken nära.
Perfekt linje! Gärna rent Agnes!
Hake.
Okej, hänger kvar. Det är Sara Sten, Sara Sten.
Hake.
Till linan. Räcker där, räcker.
Sweden
Bra
are sitting at
snackat.
the top of the leaderboard right now, but Scotland giving them everything they can handle.
Yeah, Sweden sitting at 7-1, Scotland 4-4. Scotland may still qualify if they drop this game, but it's not in their hands then.
Back line hat. Wolves. Back line.
Yeah, as competitors, you always want to be in control of your own destiny as much as possible, and so Scotland realize that every win they get puts more control in their own hands. A little tick there, moves the stone off the center line, rolls their own stone to the back ring. Very nice.
Raka!
5 rock free guard zone rule in effect this year in World Curling Federation events. Agnes Knockenhauer.
Samma Sofia! Lite tajtare! Håll ut den!
Hake.
Håll ut den!
Kort
Bra
hake.
linje nu! Bra linje!
Kort hake.
Ni håller nästan för rakt! Sara! Japp! Japp! Håll! Håll!
Really nice guard on that yellow stone, but is there a gap?
Maybe a corner visible on the intern side.
Rally.
Sophie Jackson, though, looks to be electing to clear the guard. Knockenhauer, 84%, having another good game. Millie Smith lining it up.
Clean, japp! Hard! Good.
Yeah, straightforward peel on the guard.
So Scotland realizing, Kenny, that they've got a couple of corner guards up, so safe to clear a center guard in that situation?
Yeah, I think so.
Agnes Knockenhauer.
Bra linje! Bra linje!
Samma höjd.
Okej, bra linje!
Samma höjd.
Nej, bra linje!
Samma höjd.
Bra linje!
Samma höjd. Samma höjd.
Bara var mer än. Ja, japp, gå då. Räcker. Bra.
Bra Jan.
Has that one overcurled slightly? Good guard. And you can see Sophie Jackson immediately saying, double clear.
Yeah, what I've got to watch for this is this yellow doesn't bounce back across to the other red.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Millie Smith.
Hard! Hard, Sof!
Catch it thin. Well, that pinballs everything left, right, and center.
Yeah, it moves it off the centre and takes it out the forefoot. It's a really nice shot from Millie Smith.
Very nice. Sarah McManus.
Wow! Rent! Wow! Nej! Rent, ligger bra. Bra, Sara.
Makes the hit. And Sweden lies
Bra,
two.
Sara.
One corner guard at the top of our picture. Game plan for Sweden pretty clear here, Kenny. Force.
Force, yeah, that's exactly it. Scotland can make the big long hit and roll though.
Hard! Hard! Wow!
Let's look in at Switzerland, Canada, and oh my goodness, Switzerland lying 3, and this looks like a draw to the 8-foot for 4 points and probably the end of the game, Kenny.
Yeah, Chelsea Carey tried to hit and roll off that centre.
Probably a little less weight.
Redstone dropped the weight,
It
it
times
curled,
very similar.
and it flew right by.
Perfect.
Alina Pets.
Romantisch und brei. Hat gar keine Auflage. Zieh, Meli. Zieh. Wo ist
Yeah, I don't think she's going to make a mistake with this one.
Well, looking for a little bit of backing, but she's going to sweep it right through the hole. Oh, touches 2 stones, gets away with it. And that is a 4 for the Swiss. That gives them a 9-3 lead, and let's see if the Canadians are going to keep playing. They're talking about it. They are going to concede defeat, so this game over, and Switzerland knocks off Canada. In Canada? I think it's the place I grew up, actually, but never mind. Canadians suffering another defeat, and Switzerland on an absolute roll right now. Alina Pets, Silvana Terranzoni, Esther Neurenschwander, and Melanie Barbazov. Big win over the Chinese last night, huge win over the Canadians this morning, and look out, the Swiss are on a roll. Picking it up again in our game, Scotland, Sweden. Sweden lying 1. There's a Scottish stone right in front of it. As Anna Hasselborg looks to split the house.
Anna Hasselborg needs to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to give up to try and force in this 8th end. If you are going to get a mistake, it's more than likely going to be the draw from Anna Hasselborg. We've seen early on in the game Scotland forcing Sweden to draw, and that's where they were getting the most success.
Pretty good draw there from Hasselborg. Sits front 8. Don't know that there's a crosshouse double there for the Scots that could close it up a wee bit, but that stone has got some cover behind that center guard. Corner guard, rather.
Like that?
Scotland's going to have to close the house up a little bit if Sophie Jackson has any hope of scoring a deuce in this end, Kenny.
Yeah, need to make a nice hit and roll. But then if they do make a hit and roll, Sweden miss. There could be a chance for 3.
Well, that's true. Looks like she can probably see about half, so she's going to try to hit it on the brush side and roll it towards the yellow stone. Don't think that she's playing a double take out here. Just trying to roll it nearer.
Yeah, I think you'd have to get really cute with the guard.
Sure would.
Dropped away. So obviously not looking for the double.
No, just looking to roll.
Line's really high.
Waiting for this one to curl.
Yep. Roll the other way.
Lots of rotation.
Yep. Hard, Naomi.
They just push the Swedish stone back ring and just through. It's not bad. Brings the stones a little closer together. Pretty even pickings between the skips in this one. Jackson and Hasselborg both mid-70s in their shooting percentage. As you pointed out, Kenny, Anna Hasselborg hitting a little bit better than she's drawing this morning. And this will be a hit.
This one's sitting a little high at the moment.
Well,
is it going to hang around?
It's going to catch it thin, but it may indeed spill. So suddenly a chance for a deuce here for Scotland. A tough one, but a makeable short raise and stick around, and then Sophie Jackson and company could snap their pair. Fractionally off nose would do it.
You can hold it with the sweeping.
Uncharacteristic miss there from Anna Hasselborg. That was a fairly routine shot.
Yeah, on the nose.
Think it'll move with the frost,
Just control
but
weight.
not
On the
really
nose,
down
control
here.
weight. It's a pair for Scotland. Hasselborg, this Swedish team, no matter what happens, there's always discussion and feedback with each other after every shot. Let's see if Sophie Jackson can make this one.
Yep.
On it immediately.
Hard! Whoa! Whoa!
Now they come off. This one is now tracking a little bit.
Curl.
Maybe a bit more weight than they were expecting, Kenny. Is it
Yep.
going to hang around? Yes, it does.
Yep, the crowd are happy with that one. That's a really nice two from Scotland. Capitalised on the mistake from Sweden. They now lead 7 shots to 6.
And then kind of softened it on my release. That's why it's like yes, and then stopped, like jumped back half a stone nearly. Came down with the frost, I think. Yeah. Okay.
På kant till kant. Jag sätter den lite rakt och sätter den bakom. Mycket rakt.
Yeah. Get a force here and we're good.
Yes.
They're gonna try and line.
Therefore, we're trying to do what we just did there, keep it open. So let's just try and think double set now. But that's too aggressive.
I don't know, because I think it's maybe too aggressive.
The world has come to Silkeborg, Denmark for the LGT World Women's Curling Championships. Scotland punishing the Swedish mistake in the 8th end to score a deuce, a crucial one, Kenny.
Yeah, just a hit and run from Anna Hasselborg. And the result was a 2 for Scotland.
Nice little short raise by Sophie Jackson on the last. And the reason that's so important, Scotland now has that control point. They're 1 up. To hear Sophie Jackson in the huddle say, force them here and we're good. And that would give Scotland last rock tied up playing the 10th end. Trying a tick shot here. Jackson and Brown trying to sweep it to the board. If it touches, it's going to come back, but that one goes as far as it can without touching the board. That's a maximum tick from Sofia Mabrix.
That's a great shot.
That
The
is a
tick
good
shot
shot.
used to be something that you'd see maybe once or twice a tournament. Now we're seeing it every other game.
Yeah. Free guard zone, you can reposition your opponent's rock, but you cannot knock it out of play. If you do, it comes back into place. So Mabrig's there with the tick,
Not moving the same as the last one.
opening up the house completely for the Swedes.
Yep, Naomi.
That tells us everything we know about how the Sweden wants to play the 9th end.
Good off.
They want to go wide open and blanket and take the last rock into the 10th. Mabrix.
looking for the tick shot once again.
Well, perfect tick number 2 from Sophia Marbergs. Pushes the Scottish stone into the rings, but rolls her own in there as well.
So Scotland do probably hold the upper hand at this point.
Sophia Marbergs, pretty handy weapon when you've got your lead player playing in the mid-90s all the time. You can call that shot with confidence, Kenny, but picking up your thought about Scotland having the edge here.
Yeah, Scotland can play this end out. They can hit and stay, hit and stay. They'll be sitting 2.
So that's a way to get the force, but they do need to keep this stone on the rings. It's got some curling to do. Just hangs on, just a biter. That could be big. Let's look in at Korea and Denmark. Korea lying 3 stones here by the looks of it, Kenny.
Yeah, Madeleine Dupont having to play a nose hit with her final stone in this 8th end. Line looks okay. Looks as if they're going to hit the nose. They will score 1, I'm sure. They do. So that one 7-5 after 8 ends. Korea with last stone going down 9.
Sweden with the hit and crosshouse roll, trying to close it up. Scotland wants maximum distance between the stones, and Sweden wants to bring them closer together so they could potentially double them off and keep their blank alive. Nice shot by Sweden.
Yeah, if Scotland are just patient, they will be able to force in this 9th.
Millie Smith.
Have they held it?
Just on the nose. Scotland lies 2. Millie Smith with an expression on the face that says, I would have loved a little bit of a roll towards the center line, but good shot, well held by the sweepers. Agnes Knockenhauer eyeing up the double takeout, trying to drive the front stone into the shot rock and clear the house. Nice shot by Knockenhauer. Scottish stones are gone, and now the blank is back on for Team Sweden. Great shot from Agnes. Worth another look, Kenny.
Yeah, slashing both these reds from play. And now it's Sweden who probably have the upper hand.
As the pendulum swings back and forth, almost shot by shot, as you'd expect. 2 very good teams battling it out on sheet A here in Silkeborg.
Just clean it then. Good, Naomi.
Scotland trying to tempt Sweden into something by throwing a center guard, and Hasselborg having none of that. She'll try to clear. Sarah McManus. Nicely done. This Team Hasselborg, one of the better up weight, peel weight teams in the tournament, Kenny.
Yeah, they are. So accurate, just tidying things up.
Saw that on the double takeout by Knockenhauer, and then the nice clear by McManus. They are a real force in the middle of the lineup for Team Hasselborg. Naomi Brown.
Line's big.
Line's high. Whoa.
Line's huge.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, just go T-line then. Just go T-line.
It's on the straight path.
Okay.
This one looking a little heavy. Plenty in the tank.
It's definitely pacey. It's going to go deep. Is it going to stick around?
Okay.
It will stay in the back ring, in the back 12-foot circle. Will force Sweden to make a play on it. McManus cleans house.
Ja, om man inte... Try and get in the house.
So this end trending very much towards an attempted blank for Sweden.
Like Leslie.
Hasselborg and McManus talking it over. As Sophie Jackson delivers for Scotland.
Not heavy.
I've heard a wild rumor, Kenny, that the game of curling was actually invented as in Scotland. Was there any truth to that rumor?
I firmly believe that it was invented in Scotland.
Hard, Soph.
Hard, hard, hard. Go, 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 go. Okay, find there.
Good stone there from Jackson. Stone goes to the back 12 foot. Curling was absolutely invented in Scotland. Now being played all over the world. Over 60 member associations now in the World Curling Federation. Anna Hasselborg goes her pre-shot routine. Clean the shoe, clean the surface, clean the shoe, stand up, warm the hand. It's amazing. Every player has a little pre-shot routine, and if you ask them what it is, half the time they've got no idea what they're actually doing.
Yeah, Anna Hasselborg is very structured in the way she throws her stones.
And that one is gone. Sophie Jackson trying to put the stone somewhere to make it maximum difficult for Hasselborg to blank. And there is the Swedish skip. Keeping things tidy. It's a good opportunity for Sophie here, though, to throw a bit of a rangefinder, Kenny. There's really no pressure here, so it's a great chance to dial in late in the game, draw to the button type of a path that you might need in the 10th end.
Yeah, 10th or the extra.
Indeed.
That's what a lot of teams don't think about. You don't need to win it in 10, you can win it in the extra.
Going to actually throw it off to the wing again. Maybe try to hide behind that really wide corner guard.
This one looks a little heavy.
It does. Going to make things maybe a little bit easier for Anna. Might hang on. No, it does go through, so it makes the task for Anna Hasselborg as simple as you like. Just throw it through, take your blank, go to the 10th. Score your 2 and win the game. That's the plan for Sweden. We slide along with Anna Hasselborg. That's what the players see at ice level, and this is what happens when you throw it through. Blank end for Sweden. We will go to the 10th end, possibly final end, although extra ends could be looming. Scotland holding a narrow 7-6 lead, but Sweden with the hammer playing the 10th.
On your stopwatch and all that stuff.
Yeah. Just back.
Yeah.
Couple of feet.
Really thought it was going to set.
Same. Line was so good. It was. You threw it good. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okej.
Stenarna ska de två av 8 ska ge poäng.
Vi har ändå lyckats skapa med våra hammare.
Ja, verkligen.
I alla omgångar. Så
Verkligen.
Så vi bara fortsätter spela samma tid.
Bra med tid nu också. Så nu...
Ja, verkligen. Du får inte vara snabb på mig och Fia så att vi kan tänka på er.
Ja, exakt.
Ja,
Precis.
There's a great look from above the sheets here at the Silkeborg Sports Center. We are live at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship, and we are coming down to the wire. There we see in the background the conclusion of the game between Korea and Denmark. There we see the final. Korea have won that one by a 9-5 score, so Team Korea are rolling along, and they are now firmly in the playoff picture. Two other teams with playoff aspirations are Scotland and Sweden. The Olympic champions from Sweden are trailing 7-6 in the 10th in, but they've got that all-important last rock. Kenny, this is one of the best teams in the world in terms of hammer efficiency. Looking for a deuce to win this game.
You say one off, if not the best.
Indeed.
Sophia Marberg's 93%. Played two magnificent tick shots.
That really set up the blank in 9.
Den försöker, men den spinner ändå, tror jag. Där går den lite.
Ja, den är där på kasten.
Ja,
This is getting really intriguing now. Canadian lost, the Korean win, the Japanese win, and who knows what's going to happen in this game. Playoff picture getting very interesting indeed.
Yeah. You've got to think Sweden have already made the playoffs. But where are they going to end up in playoff stages? Are they going to be 1, 2, or are they going to be into what they call really the semi-final or the quarterfinals?
Exactly right.
6, 7.
Line's good.
Sophie Sinclair.
We're running just now.
No, line's good.
An important stone here early in the end. Center guard, and Scotland electing to come in right now rather than stack two. Sits it on the edge of the button. Very nice stone there from Sophie Sinclair.
It's still in the hands of Scotland. If they win the remaining round-robin games, they will be in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Scotland very much in it, particularly if they can knock over Sweden here. Last year in North Bay, which was the first year at the World Women's where we had a 6-team playoff, a record of 6 wins and 6 losses got you into that number 6 slot. But you wouldn't want to be comfortable on 6 and 6, 7 and 5. You're probably feeling a bit better. There's a nice corner freeze here from Team Sweden. Marbergs yet again. What a game she's had. Best lead player in the world right now, Kenny? Sophia Marbergs?
Certainly up there, yep.
Millie Smith.
Nothing.
Waiting for this one to curl.
Yep. No, Sophie, Naomi! Yeah, but line.
My goodness. This is intriguing.
A race around this centre guard.
Very nice shot by Millie Smith. Scotland line 2, nearly perfectly welded. Swedish stone on the outside looking in right now. Agnes Nockenhauer just wants to jiggle these around a little bit.
Ni kan inte! Okej, linje! Bra linje! Okej, byt i så fall!
Vi är nästan bara ner mot. Lite dumt.
Ni kan inte.
Den är inte jättehård.
Det är väldigt
She's saying,
bra.
well, high.
Nej. Det är bara tunn.
En sten.
We'll make a late move. Just going to get a little bit of contact. Just gives it a nudge. 4 stones now clustered in the 4-foot circle. Nockenhauer looks on. Intriguing. This is what we love about our sport. The tactics, the decisions.
Yeah, John, come and have a quick look. Okay, just a freeze then.
Kenny, you're thinking possibly a chance to run a corner guard here as well? They are looking to come into the rings.
What you could potentially do is peel the corner guard and try and catch top of the red that's in just short. that corner guard might come into play later in the end.
No.
Because we know Sweetener's going to have to run something at some point.
Yeah,
Can't
Sweden
touch it.
looking to score 2 to win the game, so they'll want to get something behind that corner guard if they can, but they've got a lot of stones to deal with in the 4-foot area right now.
Hard, hard, hard.
Positive weight here. This is going to move stones around, and it's actually gone straight past. That's a disaster for the Scots.
Yeah, disaster, but you know what? They were better running right past everything than moving it.
Exactly right. Better to go past than actually disturb the stones. Let's have a look at Millie's delivery. Bit upright.
He just seems to stretch and maybe just pop that one out a little bit.
Quite extended in her release, and the stone. Alert line call from Sophie. You're right, Kenny. Far better to go past it than to nudge the yellow into the red. So now it's a decision for Hasselborg.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to push the yellow through and flop in on top of the red and yellow.
But what's the play, do you think, here for Sweden? Do you think they're playing that shot, or are they playing something different?
Yeah, they're just going to play hack weight, I believe, just to change the angles up and roll the shooting stone in behind that corner. The corner guard is the one that's going to hurt you. And I've got to say, I think peeling that corner guard might have been the call.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kenny. Agnes Knockenhauer. Trying to get their stone out into the wing as well as open up the stones around the button. Pretty good shot there from Knockenhauer. She unlocks the stones on the button. Scotland's still lying one, but doesn't get cover behind the corner guards. Scotland could double those stones on the left-hand side off and roll behind center. Is she looking at going straight back, Henny, or across the top?
I think she's looking like going straight back and maybe trying to roll the shooter in behind the corner.
That's interesting. That will give Sweden a clear path to the shot rock. Intriguing end. Naomi Brown.
This one beginning to cut. They've got options.
They are going to go for the inside roll now across the top, and I think that's a better shot for the Scots, and that's worked out beautifully for them. Great shot from Naomi Brown.
Yeah, hits the pocket as well.
Good result for Scotland. They lie 2 behind cover. Nice shot, Naomi Brown. And a good read by Sophie Jackson halfway down. Made the adjustment, took the inside roll instead. Eliminated 2 Swedish stones. Left themselves lying 2. Remember, Sweden needs to score 2 to win. If they score 1, we're going to an extra end. That was such a good shot by Naomi Brown. As Sarah McManus eyes it up.
Yeah, they certainly know they're in a matchup this morning.
Yeah, they're getting everything they can handle. Scotland playing very well. Changing it up now, coming around the out-turn side. 3 minutes and 2 seconds left for the Swedes. Plenty of time. Sweden have used their timeout, as have Scotland. Again, getting a little bit of action, pushing the Scottish stones around. That's a nice shot from McManus. Angle's not bad for the Scots. They are looking at coming around the center. I'm wondering, can he hit half of the yellow on the inside? You could double them off.
Yeah, I think
they're going to talk about it. Let's listen and hear the discussion.
This comes straight back onto this, unless you throw a rocket on the inside. I think that leaves that.
Yeah. It's gonna, yeah.
I was wondering that, but
what, like really
thin. takes this but goes.
Yeah. What if we came in again?
I wonder.
What's their next shot?
Well, they have to move something here.
Yeah.
We've looked at the double
They'd
takeout.
run this.
I think Sophie's initial instinct, Kenny, was to draw around the red into the front area there. So the brush, she's thinking, what if we put it there?
Yeah.
What if we put it front 8? 3:30 on the time clock for Team Scotland.
Yeah, if you play
Yeah,
the
ever
double,
like this freeze
might
or
get the
not?
chance. It might leave a chance for Sweden to then remove that red top of the floor, possibly just coming in and freezing that red just in the pocket between the yellow and the red would be the call.
Yeah, so the decision for Scotland here is how do you make it really, really hard for Sweden to score 2?
I know. That's what, like 3/4 covered.
That stone at the back 4 foot on the right-hand side of our picture, that's 3rd shot. It's out counting the Swedish stone in the 8 foot right now.
No, like only showing a 1/4. Yeah? Okay.
Sophie Jackson turns around, has a quick look at the time clock. Don't need to panic, but they do need to keep it moving a little bit. And there we see Scotland down to 2:33. Decision made. Naomi Brown. Looks like she was going to play a stone
Close line, hard line.
target
mid
area,
line,
probably top 12, top 8 foot circle.
hard line.
They're worried about the line though, Kenny.
Where are we?
Can't afford to catch the guard.
Whoa. No. Let
This
it
is
curl.
all over the guard now, so Sophie
this
Jackson is saying, just stop. Oh
Okay.
dear. Oh dear. Trouble now.
Just a little frightened of it, I think.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, but that really does open the door for Sweden now to make a play.
Yeah, even if they'd come down and caught the high red, high yellow,
Yeah.
would have been okay.
Yeah.
Connor froze it.
Yeah.
Tjejerna kan hålla den.
So let's see if Sarah McManus can punish that mistake. I think they're playing just a little feather off their own, Kenny.
I think so.
Just redirect off the top stone into the Scottish stone, push it back.
Yeah, Sweden on the back of 7 wins.
They are on some kind of a roll, all right. And they keep it going here and close this one out. Great opportunity here to set up multiple points.
This one looks good though.
Gonna get straight to it, no redirection required. Terrific shot. Wow, interesting, Kenny. It's Sophie Jackson straight to the draw. We'll have another look here on the replay. That's a really good shot.
Yeah, just a very poor shot from Naomi Brown. Opens the door for Sweden and they've punished it.
Sarah McManus, brush in the air. She knows how important that stone was. It's not panic stations. You know Sophie better than I do as a player. Can she throw big takeout weight? Because there might be a triple takeout there on the right-hand side.
Yeah, she can throw the weight, but
Stays a bit straight.
Electing to draw.
Electing to draw, yeah.
Yeah,
She's 66% on her draws. She needs this one. Trying to get one into a place to force Sweden to take a single point. Playing for the extra end now, Scotland.
Line's good. Line's
Take a look at the split time.
Wait,
It's been running at about 14-2 to 14-3 to T-line. Getting late in the game, though, sometimes it fudges up a little bit in the slide path. They've got to get it by that front stone, Kenny.
Yeah, they're okay.
Are they by? Yes! Have they got it deep enough for shot?
That's a great draw by the skip.
As we peel back and look at it, they did in fact get it into shot rock position. Did the Scottish player disturb the stone going by? There's a bit of discussion going on. Let's have a look. Watch the footwork around the guards. Was this stone hit by a brush?
Don't think it
Don't
moved
think it was. Certainly didn't see that stone move at all.
And fair play, Anna.
Yep.
That, by the rule book, she could have had that stone removed.
Yes.
Because she's
Men om jag sätter den
touched
här
a
nu
stone,
då,
but
med någonting lösare, trycker ut den.
Really wasn't clear that there was any contact
no,
at
there
all.
wasn't clear that there was.
There's the Swedish bench.
Any
Weimada, Peja Lindholm, looking it over.
Chances for both sides here in this.
There are. This could go either way. Great shot by Sophie Jackson under pressure.
10. Ja, jag
A real
känns
team
lite
shot. Great brushing from Smith and Sinclair to get it there. Anna Hasselborg now. Sweden, their clock is running as well. Wouldn't say they're under time pressure, but they do need to keep it moving. Jackson and Brown talk it over. If Hasselborg can hit about a quarter of her own stone, she'll be able to pick off the Scottish stone. Kenny mentioned how much she loves throwing the hits, but they're calling whoa right out of hand on this one.
Must be very close.
Urging it to curl. Wow. Scottish stone survives. The winning stones are clustered all around it. Decision time for Scotland.
Well, do you come in again?
1:20 on their time clock. Is the angle run the only shot now for Sweden? Or is the red run back going to spring the red and maybe they could score their 2 that way? The yellow angle in now is kind of blocked off by that stone on the top of the 4-foot, so I'm not sure it's there for Anna.
Maybe just throw something even in front of these 2 reds.
No, red.
This one.
She can see a corner of it.
Good guard the tap.
Time is running, 45 seconds. Jackson comes down for one last look, but she can't muck about too much here.
Guarding the tap. Now, I think.
Do you like this?
I think that's the most obvious and direct shot. That's the one to guard, definitely.
Yeah.
A quarter of the shot rock is available. Block it off.
Not far off the same way.
26 and counting. The clock will stop when Sophie gets to the near tee line. Okay, stone in motion, so no worries there. Now it's about the line.
I thought less still.
Line's good.
Okay.
Line's good.
Naomi Brown likes the line.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Don't
whoa,
want to
whoa.
set up a double.
No, then.
Right, we're high for that.
This one looks a little heavy.
Let it curl.
Oh no. Is she going to leave Hasselborg a double takeout for the win?
Curl.
Taps back, pushes it to back 4-foot. Hasselborg saying, is there an across the top double or a straight back double for the win?
For that.
Yeah, just a little bit too much weight on this. Even if she'd thrown it around there.
Exactly. No reason to come into the rings at all, I didn't think.
Okay.
The slash is definitely there, and then maybe the double, the tap on the outside yellows, and that's what they're going for.
So this is really a shot for the extra end. I don't think this is a shot for 2, but this is a shot to score. Or is it a shot for 2? Is the back stone potentially counting it out?
I think it is. I think that yellow.
It is, right.
back
The
there.
stone back 4 is 4th shot right now. So yellow, yellow, red could win the game for Sweden.
So guarding the tap was the call.
It was.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
I think she's made this.
It's close.
This one's good.
Yellow, yellow, red. And it is victory for Sweden. Double tap takeout for Anna Hasselborg to pull that one out of the fire. What an intriguing 9th and 10th end in this game. But Scotland bravely fighting but falling short. Anna Hasselborg closes it out with a double tap, and Sweden are 8-7 winners. Let's take another look at this one. By the guards, taps up, pushes the Scottish stone back. That stone in the back of the forefoot counts it out. Sweden breathe a sigh of relief. They get away with one, but they get the victory. Sophie Jackson and company, they'll learn from that. Nearly knocking over the Olympic champions, but falling short. Our feature game, Latvia versus Japan. Action in the third end of the game of Latvia versus Japan. Ikue Kitazawa trying a double clear and looking for a little bit of action on the front stone. And watch this. Unbelievable shot by Kitazawa. Double clears the front, pushes her own stone into the rings, knocks out the Latvian stone to lie 3. That sets up this final stone. Nose hit for a huge 4-point end for Japan. In the 6th end, Japanese stone in the back ring. Kitazawa with her final stone looking to hit and stick for a pair. And she nails it. A great morning for Team Japan, a dominant performance. Latvia concedes. Japan win this one by a final score of 9-3. So here are the wrap-ups from session 15. Sweden in that final rock win over Scotland, 8-7. Japan 9-3 winners over Latvia. Korea with a big 9-5 win over Denmark. And Switzerland knocking off Canada by a 9-3 score. So what has this done to the standings? Here's what it's done. Our first qualified team into the playoffs. Sweden have clinched a playoff spot there at the top at 8-1. Korea now in second place at 7-2 along with Russia. China and Switzerland now leaping up to 6-3. Japan right behind them in the playoff race. Canada falling to 4-5 along with Scotland and the USA. Germany, Denmark, Finland, and Latvia rounding up the standings as we head for the playoffs.
JD, another good win.
Yeah, good game this morning, and yeah, it puts them in a good position to hopefully make a run at the playoffs later this weekend.
Yeah, the girls seem to be playing with no fear out there.
Yeah, I think they played great at the Japan Championship this year. They've and I think they've just used that confidence from that event and just carried it over to this event. So yeah, they've been playing hot the last month or so. So I think that the confidence is high.
Okay, thanks for talking about us.
So that'll do it for us Thursday morning here in Silkeborg, Denmark at the LGT World Women's Curling Championships. For Kenny Edwards, I'm Hans Fraunlob. Thanks for joining us.